which makes up our two cerebral hemispheres and the dura mater. The pia mater is one of them, and that is going to directly line our gyrus, each of these protrusions, and follow them down into the sulci. So the pia mater is going to be directly on top of these and follow them down into the crevices. The arachnoid is our other meninges, and it runs between the pia mater, which is covering all of these, and the dura mater, vertically with cerebrospinal fluid flowing through it. But when we remove the dura mater, the arachnoid falls down over the pia mater, and you can only distinguish between the two in these sulci. So if you follow them down and stick something in here, the meninging being pierced is the pia mater. But if you stick a pin like this and lift up over the crevice,
that's the arachnoid.
That's the arachnoid. Okay.
Cerebral hemispheres.
So we have two cerebral hemispheres making up a cerebral cortex, a cerebellum posterior, a longitudinal fissure splitting our hemispheres, and a transverse fissure splitting our cerebellum from our cerebral cortex. So cerebellum, cerebral hemisphere, cerebral cortex together.
Okay.
Our cerebral cortex is connected and is able to communicate between the two hemispheres via the corpus callosum, which if you split this, you can see it's the white structure in here, but it's more easily viewed right here. The top white portion is the corpus callosum.
Okay. I think you already got that. The gyrus and the sulcus.
Okay, so the gyrus are all these raised areas, where the sulcus are the depressions. Right here.
Tectum?
The tectum.
Roof of the midbrain.
Makes up the midbrain. So it's got the penile body above. Okay, we'll start here then. So this is our corpus quadrigemina, made up of superior colliculi, these two, and inferior colliculi, these two. So that's our corpus quadrigemina. There's a penile body right here. That's going to be the last portion of our tectum. So our entire midbrain's right here. Tectum. This is our corpus quadrigemina. Superior colliculi, inferior colliculi, penile body. Is good? You mixed up?
Oh, okay.
Nope, that's hard.
Yeah. So there's a page missing?
Okay, let's do this one.
Okay.
Or this one. Two.
I think it's this one.
Okay.
First.
Alright.
Okay. The olfactory bulbs.
So the olfactory bulbs are going to be these nice large circles here. These have the olfactory tracts removed. The olfactory tracts will look like this if still present. And the olfactory nerve is up here. You guys don't need to identify it, but it is cranial nerve number 1. It's the olfactory nerve, and it is sensory.
Okay. Olfactory tracts.
The olfactory tracts are right here.
Oh yeah, you said that. The hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus, to see that, you need to remove the pituitary gland. And the hypothalamus, or mammillary body, either name is accepted, is right here. This nice area, minus the circle hole in the center. It's right there.
And that's the infundibulum, the whole?
The infundibulum is the hole.
The optic chiasma.
So the optic chiasma is that nice X right here in the center, where the optic nerve, cranial nerve number 2, the optic nerve, sensory, from both sides meets up. So it goes cranial nerve number 2, the optic nerve, optic chiasma, infundibulum, mammillary body, or hypothalamus.
Okay. You already went over the pituitary gland, right?
Right, so the pituitary gland's right here,
And
and what the infundibulum is the, we don't have you guys dig around in here and try to find it because it would cause too much damage, but it's what connects the pituitary gland to the central brain. So all that we have left of it once we remove it is this nice little canal, the infundibulum.
Okay, the oculomotor nerves.
So the oculomotor nerves are just behind the mammillary body, or the hypothalamus. So this is your cranial nerve number 3, oculomotor. It's a motor nerve. It's on both sides. So this one's missing, but so here's one. Here's an oculomotor nerve.
The pons.
The pons, okay, that's gonna be our anterior part of the hindbrain. And then the posterior part is the medulla oblongata. Pons, medulla oblongata.
Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum, remember, is this nice white structure.
Okay.
And it's continuous with the pharynx, which is going to be the ventral part, which creates the lateral ventricle in the center. Each hemisphere has one because they're separated by the septum pellucidum. That's the one that you guys do not need to identify. There's only a little shard of it left here. So, but you do need to know that the lateral ventricles of each hemisphere are separated by the septum pellucidum.
Okay. The thalamus.
Thalamus is this nice circle here,
Okay.
and the inner circle of it is going to be the massa intermedia. So thalamus, massa intermedia. Between the thalamus and the fornix is the third ventricle, which is continuous with the cerebral aqueduct, which is going to take us under the tectum, back to the cerebellum, where our fourth ventricle will begin, which is continuous with the central canal.
Massa intermedia.
The massa intermedia in the center of the thalamus, that'll be that inner circle. On different cross sections, it's more obvious, it's darker than the actual thalamus.
And then the arbor vitae.
So the arbor vitae is the tree of life inside of the cerebellum.
Is everything already
Trochlear.
located?
Oh yeah, and all the nerves. Okay. So we have cranial nerve number 1, olfactory. Cranial nerve number 2, optic. Cranial nerve number 3, oculomotor. Cranial nerve number 4 is trochlear. It's right here at the base of the transverse fissure. Cranial nerve number 5 is going to be a little bit harder to see, but you can see where it's been ripped off on most of them. Right here, just above the trochlear. So number 5, the trigeminal, is missing in most of them, but visible if you lift the dura mater. Right there at the tip of the pointer is the trigeminal nerve, cranial nerve number 5. Yes, I'll see that. So it's a nice thick one compared to the trochlear, which is really small. And then the abducens is the 6th one, which is on the pons. So it's another pretty skinny, narrow one right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You guys have any questions? You want to see anything again?